Perfect mountain days can create memories that can last for a lifetime. And when those days come round, it's often good to be able to share them with those who are nearest and dearest to you. And on today's adventure, I hope to create these lifelong memories with my son. Well, morning. You can see where we're going now. We're going to go up there, drop down, up and over the other two. Morning folks, I'll spin you around and show you guys where we're going as well. Right, hopefully you can see me. You can see the route we're going up, and we're going up 3 mountains today, 2 of which I've never been to before, 1 of which I've been to about 4 or 5 times. And I've got all my camera gear with me, I've got climbing gear. The bag weighs a ton, it's almost as heavy as it is when I go camping, but this hill on the right of your picture is the first one we're going up. Then we're going to drop quite steeply down. It drops away back down to about 400 metres. Up to the second one, which I think you can just about see it in the middle of your picture. I don't know if you can see it or not, to be honest with you. Anyway, and then we'll go up. I'm getting eaten alive by midges. If you're wondering why my bit to camera isn't great, we need to keep moving. So let's head up here. Oh my God, they're in my eyes. And hope that we can get a breeze and a view. Right, Lewis is behind the camera. Right, Lewis, let's go. So the poles are handy. So the midge were particularly bad, and we couldn't really stop. Even stopping to take your rucksack off, you were just getting attacked by the vicious little blighters, so we just had to keep moving as best we could. And that included when we started heading up the hillside as well, which was a bit of a pain because it was steep. Well, look at this, isn't this just wonderful? We're about 300 metres up the hillside and just above the inversion layer, thankfully. I didn't do too many bits to camera further down because the midges, oh my God, even because it's quite steep hillside, we couldn't walk fast enough to get away from them. So we're very, very glad of this breeze, shall we say. But it's steep, it's very, very steep grassy ground here, so just going to slowly pick our way up and yeah, we'll report back once we're at the top. Right, let's go. Oh, what a stunning morning it is. It's just gone 8 o'clock in the morning, and look at this, we can now see our second and third peak. Looks quite intimidating, but this is quite hard work coming up here. It's really steep. I think we do about 700 metres in just over a kilometre, so yeah, we're making good progress. But these views with inversion is just, it's absolutely stunning. So yeah, need to get up and stop them for photographs. Oh, right, we're making good progress, but gonna have a wee break here. Probably a couple 100 metres vertically from the top. I'm getting a wee bit chilly. Believe it or not, that breeze is cooling me off, so I'm gonna stop here and just get a wee layer on. I'll hopefully keep me warm. Alright. It really was a stunning morning. Even without the cloud and the inversion conditions, this part of Skye really is very, very picturesque and an amazing place to go hiking. And I tell you what, my memories were starting to form, and I'm just hoping that my son has good memories of this part of the day. Anyway, the ridge didn't relent any, and we just continued up and up and up, and before long we were reaching the summit of the first mountain. I'm just off the summit. In fact, you probably won't see me, I'm probably just a silhouette, so let me spin you around. Best views around this way anyway. Right, oh. Right, hopefully that's a bit better and you can see me now. There we go, right, I'm in the sun, not backlit. Look at this behind me now, this is where we're going next. The summit we're on is called, I don't know how you pronounce it, Belig, I don't know. But my God, it was a steep pool, but Worth it now. The only downside is we now need to drop away down. It's a big drop here. I think the Belig, again the pronunciation might be wrong, is called the Belig nan, which I love. I love that. Fantastic. But look at this behind me. Right, so the next top is Garbh Bheinn, which I've been up 4 or 5 times, but I've never been to this one. And then we're going to go around. I don't know if you can just make out on the left your picture. The nearest peak to us is Sgurr nan, just poking out the clouds. Then it's Clach Glass, which we did a few weeks ago, and then it's Belig Bheinn. They're just getting swallowed up by the cloud now. Don't know if you can make them out. It might be too far away, but yeah, what a place and what a morning. So we need to keep our climbing heads on, because there's a steep drop here, steep reascent up to Garbh Bheinn, and then it's we'll be getting the ropes out and the harness out for going along the northwest ridge of Sgurr nan. So let's go. I'll report back to the Belig. Okay, you gotta grab your poles. You gotta swap poles. Somebody's taking my good poles. Oh, this bag is heavy. So heavy. Right, let's go. Right, on you go. The summit of Belig really was a fantastic viewpoint, and especially on the morning like today. But we soon had to leave it, and it was a steep descent down, and quite a long descent down to the Belig nan. But what made it worthwhile was I noticed a bank of cloud over to my right, so I took my son over to hopefully spot a broken spectre in her glories, and that's exactly what we did. I hope he remembers this as well, because it's something that doesn't happen all the time, and it's quite magical when it does. Right, we're down at the Belig nan. Dropped a fair bit down off Belig. There's Lewis coming down, but you get a great view of the rest of the route now. The clouds kind of lifted a wee bit, so let me spin you around. You can see this is the next top behind me here, Garbh Bheinn. Let me just show you. Yeah, so it's going to be a 200 or 300 metre pull up to the top of Garbh Bheinn, which is there, and then we drop down off the southern shoulder, southwestern shoulder to the Belig there, and then up and over Sgurr nan, which is here. And this wee notch about there is the reason why I've got the helmet and the harness, and also the reason we're doing this in an anti-clockwise direction, because there's a slab which is quite exposed, which is the crux of the ridge, the scramble, and I decided to come this way, so we'd be climbing up it as opposed to going down it, because it's usually easier going up these things than it is going down. So yeah, we're going to have a wee rest here before tackling Garbh Bheinn. How you feeling, Lou? Good. He says he's feeling good, so all's good overall. The weather's still good. The weather is on the slide tonight, hopefully, and the wind is to pick up, but I'm glad of that wind right now, I'll tell you, after that midge attack earlier on. So I'll put you back in the bag, and then I'll report back when we're on the top of Garbh Bheinn. Right. Woo. Oh, I tell you what, it's steep and scrambly here. The red cooling over my shoulder, but I'm going to spin you around and show you what's another way. What a great view of something we did recently. Look at this. Yeah, hopefully you can see what I mean. It's never as clear or as good on the camera as it's to the eye, but look at that. That's the Matterhorn of Scotland, Clach Glass. And I'll put a link in the description below to when me and Jerry did it a few weeks ago. We went over the Clach Glass traverse up to Belig Bheinn, and it was superb. But look at that. You can see why they call it the Matterhorn of Scotland. Right, still a wee bit to go. The views from the shoulder of Garbh Bheinn were just spectacular. And as we went higher up, the ridge started to narrow a little bit. It was just fabulous. And just before the summit, there is a short section of scrambling which I'd never done before, and we were just about reaching that point now. Right, we're just about at the summit of Garbh Bheinn, about maybe 100 metres below the summit. There's some easy scrambling coming up, but it's not a place you want to trip. So I'm just going to get we've got the rope with us, so why not use it just to be extra safe. So I'm going to get that out, get the helmets on, and just rope up for this final wee bit, just to be ultra safe. We got the rope out for this short scramble at the top right hand of your picture there, and it really was short lived and easier than it looked. the rope probably wasn't necessary, but you know what, we had it out, we had it with us, and yeah, there's no point it being in the bag, so we used it as we headed up towards the summit. And yeah, after the scramble you literally pop out straight on the summit of Garbh Bheinn. Right, that's us at the summit of Garbh Bheinn, and wow, what a lovely little scramble up to the top. This rope was it was overkill. From below, the scramble looked a lot worse than it was. It was a grade 1. In the dry, obviously. Don't know how it would be in the ice or the wet, but it was really quite easy. But you know what? We've got the rope and we've got the helmets with us, so why not use them? There was runoffs. It's quite exposed in places. It's not a place to fall, so we just had that extra protection. Anyway, I'm really quite excited because, as I said, I've been up here, I don't know, 4 or 5 times, and every time I've done it. The North Ridge, which is over here, I'm just going to get a seat here. And it's a fantastic way up as well. It's probably shorter. And this last section of the ridge, I don't know if you remember, I did it in winter. That was an epic for me anyway. But yeah, it's always nice to come up the different ridges, and that's the first time I've included the hill Belig with it, and up from the Belig na so it's a lovely ridge. And then the other ridge which comes off the summit of Garbh Bheinn, that's what we're descending to go down now, with absolutely amazing views of Glass and Bheinn. It really is. What a place and what a day to do it on. So I'm going to have a Scotch egg here, something to eat. The viewpoint is amazing. You've got Ben Crow, which I was up a few days ago. You've got the red Cuillin here, Marsco, and then over my shoulder you've got the black Cuillin. I can see Rum, Bheinn, the rest of the red Cuillin, I can't remember their names, down towards Broadford, and the western board of the mainland looks amazing. You can see Bheinn and Bheinn Sgurr, Torridon, Applecross. You can see up to Assynt today. It's really quite an amazing clear day for July, end of July anyway. So right, I'll shut up now, get some food, and then we'll report back when we're heading down to the fun part of the day, the bit where we really need the ropes and the helmets for. So yeah, let's do it. Right, that's us ready to leave the summit of Garbh Bheinn. I think this is a Corbett, about 802 metres according to the map, so I'm assuming that's right. So we've kept the rope on. I think this is a grade 1 scramble again down here. I've put the poles away. But you know, again, we've got the rope, we've got the helmet, so let's just use it, good practice, and we'll move together down to the Belig, which isn't as low as the last Belig, thankfully, and then the real fun begins. Right, let's go. This is the ridge here, and it's not overly steep, but there are quite a few little rocky steps where the rope came in handy. It was good just to protect them. Some of them were quite steep actually and required you to face in, but anyway, other bits were just a walk. It was quite a nice ridge with views to die for as we headed down to the Belig. Right, we're making our way down off Garbh Bheinn. There's a wee bit yeah, a wee bit scrambly. Glad we kept the rope out, to be honest with you. Just loose rock and not a place to slip, but you can see where we're going now, over here, over Sgurr nan. Looks absolutely fabulous, as does the rest of the Glass Traverse actually, over there and round, and the views are just getting better and better. What a place. There's nothing quite like, or nowhere quite like Skye in my opinion. I just think it's a magical place. And over my left shoulder there to your right is Belig, the first one we were on. Beautiful. What a day though. What a day. Right, let's go and start scrambling proper. So we dropped down to the Belig and started the ascent up Sgurr nan and to the start of the scrambles. I just stopped for a wee bite to eat and a wee rest, because the next part is it's probably the most difficult, well, most technical maybe, slightly more difficult scrambling, and there's one slab that is going to be easier. Well, I'm hoping it's going to be easier going up than coming down, hence why we've come this way. But what a place. It's the wind's picking up a wee bit, and there's a wee bit of cloud now capping the main Cuillin ridge. So the weather is starting to show signs of change. Still lovely blue skies to the north. But yeah, we'll sit here for a wee bit more, and then I'll probably report back just as we're at that slab, ready to tackle that. But what a place. Right, we've come up to the point where we can see what lays ahead now. I'll spin you around. You see the summit's not too far away as the crow flies. I don't know if you can see that, but you can see the scrambling that we're going to have to negotiate to get there. So it looks like some good fun. So let's knuckle down. This bit's going to be the bit where we need to just concentrate. So maybe not speak to you until I get to the top. I might take the 360 camera out, but yeah, let's concentrate. See the van down there as well. Right. Anyway, let's go. You ready to do it? Before long, we found ourselves on the crux of the scramble, which was the slab here, which I led up, following the crack up the middle, and the rock was nice and grippy. I don't know if I'd fancy it in the wet. Anyway, I got to the top, anchored myself to the mountain, and then brought Lewis up. It was such a lovely position, and I think the wee man enjoyed this part as well. What a position and what a place to be. Oh, right, don't know if you can make it down there, that's the slab. And yeah, I don't know if I'd have fancied going down that, to be fair. We came straight up the middle of it, I climbed up and then I brought Lewis up on the rope. Yeah, quite a serious proposition, to be honest with you, if you're not used to that sort of stuff. But yeah, right, not far till we get to the summit. Look, I'll spin you around. That's the summit just there, so I'll give you, I'll be about 2 seconds for you, but half an hour and we'll be up there, and I'll report back when we get up to the top. Lovely. So a little bit of easy scrambling, and we soon found ourselves pulling up the last stretch towards the final summit of the day. Oh, that's even getting to shot. You can see me. Right, that's us at the top of Sgurr nan, which is 720 metres. And that last bit, that scramble was great fun. Proper. I would have sort of said that was probably a moderate climb coming up that slab, especially at the start before you get onto the crack. Anyway, maybe it's just because it's me and my son, and yeah. Anyway, great fun, great scrambling. It's not over yet though. We still need to drop down. There's probably quite a bit of rough ground before we get onto the shoulder further down the mountain. But lovely. You can see I don't know if you can make out, on your left hand side of the frame is Belig Bheinn, and then just down here is the ridge that we've come up, and then beyond it is the Cuillin ridge with the tops in the cloud. Beautiful. Right, can't stop concentrating now. This is yeah, this is probably the bit where we really need to concentrate. Getting back down, so we'll report back when we're safely back down, okay? Wow, right, that's us down off the, God, the seat. That hillside behind us was an absolute nightmare. I don't know if we took the wrong route off it, but it was just chossy, steep, loose rocks, scree. I'm glad we kept the rope on. We had to use it quite a lot coming down there. Not advised. I definitely probably go up that way, or just avoid it completely. It's horrendous. I'm sure somebody will tell me I've come down the wrong way, but anyway, we protected it. Lots of bits coming down, so it's taking a bit longer than we thought, but I'm just glad to be down and off it and onto this grass and nice gentle rolling shoulder now. So we're going to get the poles back out and see if we can get into the tourist track for Belig Bheinn, and then it's an easy walk back to the car or the van. Oh man, that was stressful. Oh, I've got wet underwear. Bet you weren't expecting me to say that. And we've just been for a wee dip in the pool that we had a dip in after we did the glass traverse. That was Lewis's idea. Well done, Lou. So that was an awesome day out, proper mountaineering day out. It was Lewis's second real scramble in the mountains. We did North Gully Buttress on the Buchel, but that was, did you find that a bit more, it was a different level, that, wasn't it? Yeah, different level doing that, and probably your first multi-day, like proper 3 or 4 peaks in the one day outing as well. So I reckon you're not far off 1,300, 1,400 metres of ascent today, and it's although it's not too far as, you know, distance-wise, there's a lot of difficult terrain in there, so well done, Lewis. What an awesome day, one that'll live long in the memories for sure. So I'm going to end the video here after my wee dip. I didn't video this one, you'll be glad to, glad to hear, the dip that is. Yeah, thanks for watching. As always, stay safe out there, and I'll see you on the next adventure. Right, down for some food and some beer, I think, eh? What a day.